Another post here, we got one regarding the one and only Sara Landry.
Would you feel better if I said that the touch could last forever? Every moment I'm with you feels like heaven. If I said this is love, would you feel better? Better. Would you feel better if I said that the touch could last forever? Every moment I'm with you feels like heaven. If I said this is love, would you feel better? Better. Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Would I feel better if you said the crowd? Wo
I've made my post, or I've made my fucking feelings about Sara Landry very clear. I've seen some sets of hers online and I fucking hated them. I thought the music was pretty awful. But one thing that was very, very clear to me, at least anyway, watching some of her sets online, especially judging by the comments I received when I clipped the actual clip itself, she seems like a really nice person. I don't know how you can judge that based on the DJ set, but she has a very positive, nice vibe about her. I don't know if that makes any sense. That's what feeling I kind of get when I see Sara Landry DJing behind the booth. There's definitely something about her that people tend to kind of gravitate and warm to. Now it could be her looks, because of how she looks, right? It could be because she looks the way that she does and people think that she's attractive and think she's hot. But I don't think that's the case. The comments I was getting back from guys didn't feel like they were just thirsting over her and wanted to fuck her or anything. It felt like they were actual, real, legitimate fans of this woman. And I think that's part of the success and part of the hardest part, well, probably one of the hardest things about being a female DJ, especially an attractive one. Like, how do you cultivate that fan base within a very heteronormative, very male dominated dance music scene without giving the illusion that anyone can touch you and shit, and, you know, being overly flirtatious and sexual, whatever, while also not dismissing the fact that you look the way that you do. And I think maybe part of it comes from the music. Maybe just the music just resonates with people and people just actually fuck with the music super hard. And that's where, you know, people kind of lay with it. But I find her phenomenon to be very, very interesting, and why people kind of tend to kind of gravitate and kind of like her, because I think this post on Reddit really spoke to it. This says here, a second date of her LA performance was added earlier today and it sold out within minutes. It generally boggles my mind how popular she's become, and I'm curious to know what the opinions are about her. So let's read some of the opinions. And again, I only found out today based on research on this fucking topic that she's actually American. I thought she was European, I'm not gonna lie, because she seems to sell out a bunch of European dates. But the fact that she's American but also seems to have a European aesthetic, if that makes any sense. I don't know if European aesthetic means she wears all black, but she doesn't seem American, might help, you know. She's not over, because I think some of the American DJs, especially ones within this sort of field, maybe struggle because they come across a bit cringe, they come across a bit too much try hard. But for whatever reason, this girl doesn't come across like that. She comes across very, like, I would say like underground adjacent, but you know what I mean. It doesn't, there is something there, very clever. Maybe it's the marketing, maybe it's just the work, maybe it's just the music, maybe it's the vibe, who knows. But I'm curious to see what some of these people say on the Reddit regardless. What they're saying here, someone said here, I'm not a fan of the whole rockstar DJ thing where image is super important, but I'm glad people around here can speak positively about her. So another person here says, I've heard she's very sweet and down to earth, and she commands quite the following when it comes to her crowds. Obviously a hard worker and loves seeing a female DJ take off. Just also super fascinated by her 2-year glow up. If you knew her even just a few weeks ago or look at older pics, she looks totally different. Hell, but whatever, slay. What, really? So what, has she changed her look completely? Did she? I like that, by the way. I'm a big fan of like starting out one way and then figuring out that this whole, like, you know, techno goddess princess, you know, onesie jumpsuit wearing thing is doing well for you with the mascara, and then just leaning into it. I think that's a good idea. I think that's what you should be doing as an artist. You should be kind of adapting and kind of, you know, evolving based on the inputs that you're getting from your fans or from the scene in general. So let's see what she actually looked like. Is it all the pictures of her? Because I want to see, what was she wearing before? Was she looking like, who's that word called? Is it Alice in Wonderland or whatever her name is? Was she walking around wearing like buffalo creeper boots and shit and, like, you know, purple jumpers, and then suddenly she wore all black and put a bit of smoky mascara on. And everyone went fucking crazy. And she was like, you know what? I'm gonna stick with this. I'm not gonna lie, I do like the fucking continuality. I do like the commitment to all black, even on the beach. Black fucking black bikini. I fucking love that, by the way. That's fucking impressive. Let's actually see. I want to see if there's actually a post here that shows what she looked like a few years ago, because that might give us an indication as to how this started. Because so far I'm just seeing all black. Again, very good commitment to the color black. I have to also give her props to that one. Loads of all black here. Black again. Fucking hell. All fucking black. Loads of lips. Loads of duck lips. Loads of sultry bend over and exposing of the fucking cleavage and shit, which again, do what you have to do. Use what God has blessed you to get those fucking bookings. Who gives a fuck? But I'm not seeing any change in style, really. I think this person was gassing. Yeah, no, that's okay. She probably deleted them because she's a smart fucking girl and she's, you know, doing well. But whatever pictures that did exist of her prior to the all black glow up do not exist. They are gone. They've been purged from her Instagram. So big up her team for doing that. Very, very smart. I think her glow up makes sense. If you're in the entertainment industry and you start gaining success plus more income, you're going to be able to start caring about your image. Also want to know how much more attention she gets compared to 4 years ago. Again, could you imagine also, right? Someone like this she's like the anti Peggy Gou, isn't it? Because Peggy Gou is really successful, but by all accounts, especially based on the accounts that I've kind of, you know, talked about on this podcast, she doesn't strike me as the nicest person IRL. Again, not her fault. It is what it is. But this is like the opposite. So it basically goes to show you, within dance music or within any type of creative field, as long as your work is good, people will put up with you if you're a nice person or if you're a horrible person. It doesn't really matter, really. As long as you know, Peggy is a good DJ, she does great productions, so people put up with it, even though she might not be the warmest, she might not be the nicest to her assistants and shit, or fellow DJs, if you listen to certain people out there in the fucking field. Another person says, the older artists used to receive the same amount of spotlight and enthusiasm, but time and styles move on. Landry fits the current style, and someone who's been in the scene and industry since the 90s. I'm enjoying the new energy around. Okay, cool. So this person likes her, but based on new energy. Don't like her sets, but good for her, man. She's riding the current trend hot and getting that bag. So again, why do some people like this girl and not somebody else? Why does she get all this good? She must be a nice person. Why does she get all this goodwill from people? And people like SPF DJ, people like VTSS, people like even my girl fucking Sarah King, they don't get this type of level of grace from people. But she seems to get all of this. I've seen her sets 2 to 3 times. I just like what she does. I've also heard that she's a very sociable and likable person. Again, this is the thing, being likable, and people really underestimate this, because I guess if you're a cunt and you're still successful, why would you try to be nice? But this is honestly such an easy cheat code. If you're just nice to people, if you're just a little bit smiley, because she seems like a very smiley person, I think that might help, right? She doesn't look like she's got like she doesn't look like she's permanently sucking on a lemon like SPF DJ or something, right? So that obviously helps. But I think just having a smile deposition around you, she probably doesn't meet all these people, right? This post of her standing on a DJ deck, she doesn't probably know any of these people's names or faces, but just the ability to stand on the decks, communicate to your fans, spread love and awareness, get your hands out, smile like you're having a great time of your life, like you'd be there for free. Oh my god, I love you guys. Just that goes so far. But some motherfuckers out there don't want to do that. They don't even want to, you know, you bump into them at Panorama Bar and they fucking give you the fuck off eyes. You know what I mean? Some motherfuckers out there don't want to do any of that shit. So I find that quite fascinating, because look at how much it benefits you if you just the slightest bit nice. You know, people really ride for you online, like, actually. And I think a lot of these people in this thread are probably dudes. That's the other thing too. She's got a lot of like hardcore dude fans. They leave me comments all the time whenever I talk about her, so clearly she's doing a good job. I like her style, but the pop edits don't do it for me at all. I love the pop edit, but sometimes they don't just work, like the MIA one, but she plays an up-and-coming remix, like the kicks and this energy, and so just a harder hitting track, but the acapellas are more light-hearted. Okay, I also find so the edits are meant to be the big thing now that everyone's doing nowadays, taking really bait pop tracks. Again, I don't know what her MIA ones, maybe it's fucking Aeroplanes or whatever, or Paper Planes, whatever that song is by MIA. They'll take a very popular pop edit and just, you know, give it a fucking EDM / techno / hard style / trancey fucking edit, speed it up a bit, add some fucking crazy, you know, breakdown, boom, Bob's your uncle, Granny's your aunt. And that usually kind of helps to kind of propel them, give you some good TikTok views and shit, and get your Instagram reel numbers up. So I'm interested to see people saying that they don't actually like the edits. They actually like her for her DJing and production, which is interesting. So big up her. I also find the edits unappealing. I've seen her 3 times, going on the 4th time later this year at the festival. 2nd time was after that followed the festival that she played at. That was fun, but to be honest, I preferred her opener Volvox. Yeah, Volvox is fucking very hard, very underrated as well. I won't say underrated, but very overlooked, let's say. Most recent time the audience was heavily Gen Z plus Gen Alpha. What's a Gen Alpha? What the fuck is Gen Alpha? Is that Gen Alpha male? What the fuck is it? I've never heard of Gen Alpha. What the fuck is Gen Alpha? Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha is a name given to a generation of people who are, okay, I had no idea. Born between the years of 2010 and 2024. Generation Alpha is the first generation to become. There's people going to raves now that are born in 2010 that are going to fucking techno raves. Yeah, I don't have any business being in some of these clubs, in it. There's people born in 2010 in fucking techno raves. I'm standing next to people born in 2010. Some fucking white girl's fucking flat ass is gyrating against my leg, and she's born in 2010. I should be thrown in prison, mate. I should be locked up. Let's continue. The 4th graders of Gen Alpha are def not head bobbing with me to Sara Landry. Another person says here, it feels poppy because it's taken from mainstream pop culture and it builds a connection to the more mainstream normie crowds. Ah, that's true. I never thought about it that way. Pop edits being a good way to get to become like a normie conventional, like, who's that girl, that really big girl, the Asian girl, I think her name is Jyoti. She's kind of a similar sort of thing, right? She's got a very normie kind of like pop general kind of audience. I won't say pop, but like mainstream audience, but she also plays a lot of like quote unquote underground places as well, you'd imagine. So maybe those pop edits kind of help. This scratches at the itch for people who like to hear top 40 at the clubs and harkens back to the days where the most popular EDM, like progressive house, dubstep, trap, was remixes of popular songs. Avicii, SHM and stuff, but it's cheap thrill because it really doesn't add to the cohesion of the set. It's just reaching for an easy reference that people will understand to get a rise out of the audience for low effort, but it works on a broader appeal basis, and for a lot of people, not those who are really deeply into techno minded, that enhances their enjoyment of the set. So it's valid, but if they enjoy it, it's just that they don't really listen to fucking pop music, so I don't appreciate when they dilute my pursuit of deeper progressive evolution. That's the thing that's very interesting, that I wonder if there's actually more normie people listening to this type of music anyway than people like myself, or people like who want like, you know, deeper, you know, I think there's more normies. I think there's more mainstream. Like that's the thing. Like I don't actually think the heads go to like the things that they go to, which are the kind of ones that don't get advertised in places. You have to know, invite only, blah blah blah. I think most events are populated by mainstream people, and I think actually the people that actually keep the scene afloat, weirdly enough, might be those mainstream people. That carousel of mainstream people that get into dance music every other year or so might be the ones that actually are the ones that keep the lights on. You know, in a weird way. It doesn't really sound like it makes sense, but if you think about it, it kind of does. I won't elaborate because, you know, I'm too smart. Let's continue here. Some person else says, there was a thread here a couple months ago, someone who made a portrait of her. A lot of people were bashing Sarah's music and portrait. Surprisingly, she went in the comments herself to defend the guy. Her music isn't quite my cup of tea, but I always appreciate her as a person for that. What? Someone made a portrait of her. Okay, cool. So she jumped into the comments of this thread that someone made did someone make a drawing of her? I don't. Let's see. What does the drawing look like of her? Is it horrendous? What do we see here? Oof. 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 I don't know. I'd kind of be offended if I saw that. If I was her, I'd kind of be offended. Holy shit. My painting of the high priestess, Miss like, what? Why'd you make her look like Michael Jackson, bro? Why I going for that? Why you make her look like white MJ? But bless her for getting in the comments and defending the lad. That's actually quite nice. Where does it say that? Does she actually defend the lad? Where is it? Oh, there he is. There she is. Definitely. There she is. Wow. Big up her, man. See, this is why she's a fucking legend. Touring DJ, million fucking gigs all over the place. And look at her leaving fucking comments in the fucking Reddit. Greetings, incels. Wow, this sub is being misogynistic and toxic again. What a surprise. It's so sad to watch this sub keep choosing to descend to this level. It used to be different a few years ago. Your hateful attitudes are poisoning the scene, and for what? Maybe if y'all invested a fraction of the time you spend whining on here into learning to produce or DJ yourselves, you'd be able to actually contribute to the genre positively instead of just spewing toxicity and ruining the vibe. Yo, I think I like her too now, man. I love this attitude. She's fucking bringing the smoke. I love this. Big up her. To anyone who doesn't like me, cool. I don't care. And what I'm doing is not for you. That's fine. Keep it to yourself. Unfollow me. Stop obsessing over me online. Don't bring those vibes to my parties. If you hate me, I don't want you in my crowd. I like this. I'm not gonna lie. I like this energy. I like this energy, bro. I see why guys fucking ride for her, man. She's one of the mandem, innit? Take your money and go support your local scene you connect to. There's so much amazing techno out there and something for everyone, but this negativity you're intent on spreading overwhelmingly towards women is really sad and ugly behavior, and I hope you all can choose to grow as people and rise above it. To be fair, I don't think it's always towards women. I think because there's less women doing it and they get some abuse, it looks like it. But I think anybody that people deem to be like an overnight success gets it. To be fair, I don't think only women get it. I think plenty of dudes in techno also get loads of hate from their fans or from people of observing, because they feel like that person's an overnight success, which is never the case, right? No one's ever an overnight success. You've obviously been working way hard before anybody's actually seen you. But anyway, it continues. I'm glad you enjoyed the ballroom set and I inspired you creatively. That is such a special thing. Painting is so hard. I want to start myself. I keep at it. Don't let up. I like how she never said send me the painting, by the way. I like Sara Landry. She's a real girl. She never said DM me and send me the painting. She never said that. She just said keep at it. Keep at it. Let the opinions of miserable losers stop you from learning and growing the medium you enjoy. Sending love and blessing to you, especially those who hate me, since you all need it the most. Nah, big up Sara Landry. I see why people like her. That's a top girl. That's a fucking motherfucking top girl. Let me upvote that one. That is a top fucking girl there. Bloody hell, mate. That is so hilarious. But to be fair, the painting is terrible. Let's just, let's call a spade a spade. The painting's fucking terrible. But yeah, she seems like a fucking legend. And then last thing, or I move on, I love her, but I've been a fan since she was playing not sold out shows for $5. Around the time techno subs were saying she was amazing, and it was cool to see an American bringing the European hard sounds here. But now she's so popular, she gets the Charlotte Amelie treatment where they claim she's only pretty. Nah, that's a thing though. That is a thing. I think she actually getting the opposite. I think she's actually way more human and seems way more normal and well adjusted than Charlotte the Wit or Amelie Lenz. Because Amelie Lenz is like, she's in, bless her heart, but she's in cuckoo town, isn't it? She doesn't exist on the same plane that we do. And Charlotte the Wit seems like she's in a permanent ket haze, which again, no problem, but it is what it is. At least with this lady, she actually seems like she's somewhat present, If you bumped into her at Tesco's, you'd get a bit of a conversation out of her, right? It's not just like, all dudes, then fucking double soul Dr. Martens. There's a bit of a sparkle behind the eye. There's something there. I'm alive. But actually, she's actually meant to be touring the UK soon. And I'm actually going to see her at this Boiler Room event in August. So I'm curious to see what she's like, because I was meant to see her in Manchester one time, but I'm actually going to be able to see her at this Boiler Room event in August, I think. Where is it? It's August. There we go. London Boiler Room event in August, the 25th of August. That should be fucking fire. That's coming up. The lineup is absolutely stacked as well with all your regular people that you see online, especially TikTok flavor type of people. Actually curious to see MCDE, Daniel Pleslow, who used to be called Motor City Drum Ensemble, but I remember that was really funny. He got cancelled during the whole like cancel culture thing. I think this was like post George Floyd. Anybody with like a black DJ sounding name got cancelled, and I guess Motor City Drum Ensemble was a name that was taken from, I guess, like Detroit, and because Detroit is a home of techno, Detroit being black people assumed that he was basically trying to cosplay as like a black dude, when that isn't the case. He's a very, very white guy with a hat that makes house music, but he had to change his name and, you know, abbreviate it to MCDE, and now he goes by his actual real name, Daniel Pleslow, which is fucking hilarious. I think that's all fucking super, super funny. We got Flow Down, you know, a guy from London that won a Grammy, or from the same borough that I'm from, that won a Grammy, so I'm curious to see what he's going to be like over there. Too many people here actually that I want to see. Mr. Scruff I'd like to go see. Optimo, of course, is going to be good. Pull the Tape I'd like to see. Sara Landry, obviously. Screaming Benga, I've got zero interest in seeing them play. Absolutely zero. Don't give a fuck what they do, to be fair. I think that time has been and gone. I'd rather they just kind of let the great memories be the great memories, personally. But hey, you got to do what you got to do to make the money. And there's got as well Teletech performing as well. I think that's probably, that might be I forgot who that kid is. Charlie Sparks, somebody else is their resident. That might be who's playing there, and a few other people too. But it looks like a really fun event. Festival happening August 25th. Be a good chance to see what this Sara Landry hype is all about. Curious to see what it's all about. Hopefully no one brings this painting to the rave. Hopefully no one brings this painting. Hopefully no one brings this painting to the rave. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they don't.